Above the pitch-black sky, a massive monstrous beast slowly floated, its gigantic body nearly covering the entire city. Its icy, piercing eyes, lined up like deadly searchlights, continuously scanned the ground below, making anyone caught in their gaze feel a chilling dread down to their bones. The colossal creature gradually descended, moving toward the god of vitality who was still engulfed in Shaoling's raging flames. The transcendents below trembled uncontrollably, their teeth chattering. In sheer terror, as the beast approached, it casually used only a small part of its enormous body to snuff out the fierce fire. So easily it was almost unbelievable. Long Ting Wei, observing from afar, turned pale, instantly realizing it was trying to save the god of vitality. The god's body was charred black, covered with burns, seemingly at death's door, but immediately, a portion of the massive beast's body slammed down, dispersing the raging flames entirely and miraculously rescuing the dying god. Shaoling, blood trickling from the corner of her mouth and eyes, could only stare in stunned silence. The fire was completely extinguished. The god of vitality, who had been on the brink of death, had been saved right before their eyes. Witnessing this, Long Ting Wei completely lost his composure. Cold sweat poured down his body like rain. Despair gripped his heart. This is bad, very bad. One god of vitality was already difficult enough to deal with. Now there was also the dream illusion god, and the pink dragon too. Looking at the monstrous beast's overwhelming size, Long Ting Wei felt his hair stand on end, and the beast's spiritual power was unimaginably vast. Just then, massive ancient tree roots suddenly burst through the ground, erupting violently. The transcendents screamed in horror. Divine tree! Shaoling, her sharp mind analyzing rapidly, immediately noticed something was off. No, she thought grimly, this spiritual force doesn't belong to my master. These aren't my master's roots. Her gaze locked onto the massive blood red eye embedded in the ancient tree's trunk, and in that instant, she realized the horrifying truth. If it's not my master, then it can only be the life ancient tree. Facing 5 towering enemies, the transcendents felt as though their very souls were being ripped away. Everyone stood frozen in utter terror. Despair swallowed their hearts whole. Cries of, "I don't want to die!" rang out as the group turned and fled, tears streaming down their faces. "I want to go back to Earth!" they screamed, but before they could get far, a brilliant orb of light appeared, unleashing 5 colossal beams of energy that instantly vaporized several transcendents on the spot. The beams of light carved deep, long trenches into the earth. There was no trace left of those struck directly. Long Ting Wei could only stand there helplessly, frozen, facing these 5 overwhelming enemies. The god of vitality, weak and trembling, croaked out, "Master! Lord Master!" From the monstrous beast's body, a deep, imposing voice rumbled, "I granted you supreme strength, and yet you end up in such a pitiful state." The god of vitality collapsed to his knees, begging desperately, "Lord Master! Please give me another chance!" But the enormous Lord responded coldly, "There's no need." Without hesitation, 3 streams of dark power pierced through the god of vitality. Shaoling frowned in confusion. They just saved him, only to kill him immediately afterward. How utterly twisted! The god of vitality screamed in agony, his body and soul writhing in unbearable pain. "Please, no!" The Lord's massive mouth opened wide, his razor-sharp eyes brimming with killing intent. He declared chillingly, "Don't waste your breath. I've made my decision. The power I granted you, I shall now personally reclaim it." Instantly, the dark tendrils pierced deeper into the god of vitality, draining him dry. His desperate, agonized screams tore through the space around them. In mere moments, all his strength, and even his body, was completely devoured by the wicked Lord. Turning, the Lord commanded in a cold voice, "Emo Long!" Understanding immediately, Emo Long opened his gigantic maw and lunged toward the dream illusion god. The latter shrieked in panic, trembling violently, "Wait, Lord Master! I still have value! Please spare me!" But Emo Long replied icily, "Life and death are decided by the Master. Do not blame me for being heartless." Without another word, he devoured both the body and strength of the dream illusion god. Shaoling, witnessing all this from nearby, trembled in horror. they're even devouring their own comrades. This level of evil is monstrous. In the blink of an eye, two once proud gods were completely erased from existence. The Lord spoke slowly, his tone dripping with disdain. To be beaten so miserably by mere fragile humans, you were not worthy of being called gods. As he finished speaking, countless ancient tree roots, like giant serpents, suddenly lashed out toward the remaining transcendents. Screams of terror erupted from the group. Scatter! They cried, but death had already come. No matter how fast they ran, they could not escape. One after another, they were ensnared by the monstrous roots. Their agonized screams filled the air as fresh blood gushed from their mouths. No! I don't want to die! Despair consumed their faces. Not far away, a gigantic root lunged at Xiaoling. She reacted instantly, activating her flame body technique. Her entire figure ignited in fierce, raging flames, incinerating any roots that touched her to ash. But Long Tingwei wasn't so lucky. He was already entangled by the ancient tree's roots, his spiritual energy depleted. He could only weakly struggle as the roots tightened around him. The lithe ancient tree slowly dragged its victims toward its gaping maw, clearly intending to devour them whole. We're going to be eaten! Their hopeless cries echoed in every direction. Meanwhile, Amo Long opened his massive mouth again, unleashing an enormous orb of light that shot straight toward Xiaoling. The devastating beam struck her directly. A deafening explosion shattered the earth. Luckily, Xiaoling had shielded herself with her flame body skill just in time, but before she could catch her breath, a new danger suddenly appeared beside her. Xiaoling's heart tightened in panic. Oh shit, one danger just passed and another's already here.